Northeastern's game against New Hampshire was nothing short of exciting as the Huskies put on a show for the Doghouse fans. With high tension, scoring, and energy, it was an eventful night at the Conte Forum. Jacob Matu and Amin Hajibi both tallied 3 points for the Huskies, and Lawton Zacher had 24 saves. In the first period, it only took 2 minutes for Northeastern to get on the board.
Jacob Matu scored his 10th goal of the season, assisted by Dylan Compton and Amin Hajibi.
A minute later, Griffin Erdman was sent to the penalty box for hooking, but the rest of the period stayed penalty and goal-free. With 3 minutes to go, Matu knocked the puck off the pipe to the cheers of the Doghouse and the sound of the horn, but it was ruled no goal.
Northeastern takes a 1-0 lead at the end of the first period, despite UNH outshooting them 7-3.
A minute into the second period, UNH's Morgan Winters was called for interference, sending Northeastern on the power play. Unfortunately, it would be UNH who struck next.
After UNH scored a shorthanded goal, Northeastern challenged the call, alleging goaltender interference. However, the refs ruled it a good goal, putting Northeastern and UNH even at 1-1.
5 minutes later, Northeastern found the back of the net once again to regain the lead.
Tyler Fukakusa scored his third goal of the season, assisted by Dylan Ritkovian and Giacomo Martino to put the Huskies up 2-1 in the second period.
Less than 3 minutes later, the Huskies fired off another one.
On the assist from Matthew Perkins and Joe Connor, Amin Hajibi scored to put the Huskies up 3-1.
2 minutes later, UNH cut the lead to 1 off a goal by Cam McDonald. With 4 minutes to go, UNH's Brendan Fitzgerald was called for interference and sent Northeastern on its second power play of the night. This time, they took advantage of the extra player and increased their lead to 2. The high-scoring second period didn't stop there, as in the last 30 seconds, Dylan Compton scored his 4th goal of the season.
The second period was full of action as Northeastern jumps out to a 5-2 lead. The Huskies outshot the Wildcats 18-14 on goal, and additional goals were scored by Cam McDonald for UNH and Joe Connor and Dylan Compton for Northeastern.
After Compton was called for tripping, UNH scored what would be the team's last goal of the season.
UNH scored on the power play, making the score 5-3 near the middle of the third period.
Noah Jones was sent to the sin bin for cross-checking with 4.5 minutes to go to send UNH on another power play. In an effort to bring the score closer, the Wildcats pulled their goalie. However, Matthew Perkins snatched the puck from a Wildcat and sent it down the ice into the net to increase Northeastern's lead to 6-3. 40 seconds later, Jones scored an empty netter of his own to increase the Huskies' lead to 7-3 and notch his second collegiate goal. Tensions were high almost the entire game between the two teams, but it came to a peak with less than a minute to go as Northeastern's Griffin Erdman and UNH's Nick DeAngelis swung at each other. They both took penalties for roughing and misconduct, with DeAngelis taking an additional one for cross-checking.
Northeastern takes a 7-3 win over UNH to advance in Hockey East playoffs, despite being outshot 27-24 on goal. Tensions were high in the game, but the Huskies pulled out the win.